Today we're going to be doing another get ready with me per request, but today we're going to be talking about something really special from my childhood that's also like kind of crazy. So when I was a kiddo, I used to do spell work, but I did not know that what I was doing was spell work. So as an adult now that I'm like older, I definitely know, looking back, what I was doing. It's obvious. I was in my witch era when I was like 9, 10, 11, 12, somewhere in there is when I really started doing actual spell work and magic and divination off of my parents' back deck. But yeah, it's just crazy because at that moment in time, I had no fucking clue what I was doing, but I did. Like, I felt the presence of some kind of divine force, and I was like, I have to be doing this. So when I was a kid, I remember very, very specific. Sorry, that sound of that really distracted me just now. Anyway, I remember very specifically when I was a kid, going on my parents' back deck after they went to bed because I didn't want them seeing what I was doing because I didn't even like understand what I was doing, and I knew that they weren't gonna understand what I was doing. They didn't understand me really at all growing up. But I would wait till they go to bed every night, and I would go out onto the back deck and literally do spell work and magic. So there was a particular moment in time that kind of sticks out in my brain, which is like a core memory of some spell work that I was doing when I was a kid, right? But the craziest part is what I was trying to like manifest or like divinate, I guess, or whatever back then literally has become my life now. So I was a powerful little girl. I remember this very specific time in particular where I went out on my back deck with a piece of paper in hand, a pen, a lighter, and this was before, like I said, I ever even knew anybody else did this. I thought I was like special and that I was like the only one like doing this. So I took a piece of paper, a pen, and a lighter out to my back deck, and I would write down on that piece of paper my dream life. I would write down like who I wanted to be when I got older, what I wanted to look like, what I wanted to sound like, how I wanted to make other people feel, and how I wanted to move through the world. And yeah, just really like what they call now manifestation journaling. But I was a kid doing this. No one taught me this. This was out of my own imagination and my own creativity, and my own inspiration to do this, which is wild looking back because I was literally a child in a household that wasn't like spiritual at all. Like, okay, furthest thing from hippies as you could get. Like, my parents were like, I guess if you were to label them, which I don't like doing, I would call them like rednecks, more like hicks is kind of who raised me. But they got a hippie out of it, so I hope they don't mind. But yeah, I was doing spell work on my back deck. I would write all this stuff down on a piece of paper, and I remember really feeling it. And then I would take my lighter, and I would look to the trees because we lived in a forest. I would look to the trees because I knew that there were spirits in the trees. I knew it. I fucking knew it. And I remember like tree spirits like saying that, like being like, okay, tree spirits, hear me out. This is what I would like. This is what I want in my life. And I would burn that piece of paper, take the ashes in my hand, and I would go into the trees. Like, what? And I thought I was special. I thought no one else knew how to do this. I thought that I was like a fucking genius. Just so crazy looking back, because now it's like, I think about it and it's like, okay, yeah, those were probably, what am I saying probably? Those were just the spirits of the trees. Whether you want to call that fairies, ancestors, angels, guides, God, I don't care what you want to call it. All I know is when I was 9 or 10, I believe is when I was doing this, I was fucking onto something. And it's just crazy because I remember the stuff that I used to write down. I'm not going to share it with you, but I remember the stuff that I used to write down, and it's literally like my life today, which is just wild. And what's really funny is I remember my dad the day after that one night where I was like talking to the tree spirits and blowing my ashes to them of my deepest heartfelt desires. Remember the next day my dad goes, hey, why are there ashes all over the deck? And I was like, oh, I was burning a paper. I didn't like further explain at all. And he goes, yeah, can you not do that? That's dangerous to be burning stuff. And I was just like, oh yeah, for sure, I won't do that again. Little does he know, little did I know, I was out there doing spell work. I was a child girl. What in the world? Like, I don't know about you, but I don't really know of a lot of children that's like, that's what I want to do in my free time. I don't know, it's just wild, you guys. And that's like typical behavior that I would do when I was a kid. And it's just crazy because then I feel like I lost that part of myself for the longest time. And now that I'm an adult and I can look back and be like, understand more of what I was doing, I've returned to that again. And I do stuff like that now. I don't really like do manifestation journaling that much anymore because I understand that I'm literally always manifesting. Like whether I'm consciously aware of it or not, I literally always am. So I don't really feel the need to like go and sit down with a journal all the time anymore and like be that intentional about it. I really feel like I've just like gotten to a certain timeline where like I can literally just think about something and get excited about something, and it's gonna, if it's for me, it's why I want it, you know? And if it's meant for me, it'll be. And I just trust that so much now that I don't really feel the need to like be doing all this like spell work. But it's just crazy because it's like, I feel like so many people like don't find that stuff till they're like an adult, right? And that's like the first time in their life they're like doing all these things. And it just blows my mind to this day where I was getting these insights from, like where I was getting this information from. Like, I must have been an actual like OG witch, like in a past life or something, because what kid is out on their back deck fucking lighting candles and having a seance when their parents aren't spiritual at all? Like, I had no outside influence around me in my physical realm to be teaching me these things. This was purely from my mind as a child. Spray time. Oh god, I do not like doing this, but it does make it last like so much longer. So yeah, I just did my foundation, did some primer today, then foundation. I like to use like translucent powders, that way it doesn't add any pigmentation to my skin, and then I go back in and add some color with contour. But yeah, time to do my eyebrows. Use one of these little professional pencils. Professional, like what? Brow this way. Who even makes this? Rimmel London? Okay, cool. But it has this little brush on the back, which I like. Anyway, no eyebrow, I'll be right back. I got my eyebrows on, and then I just like to brush out the fronts, like fluff them up a little bit. Yay! Can't find my lip pick. Where's my lip pick? Oh, it's out of my car. I'll be right back. I found my lip pick. I love liquid matte lipsticks that like dry and don't get on anything, because I be kissing my son and I hate when I kiss him and then there's a big ol' lipstick smooch on his head. It's just not it. The thing I kind of wanted to note on is I feel like this is like proof that like magic and God and things are real, and that like spell work isn't evil or like the devil or any weird like religious like constructed idea like that, because it's like, one, when I was a kid, I didn't have books or anything like that teaching me what any of this stuff was. It was like an inner knowing, and so that's how you know it's real, because if a kid has an inner knowing, they're still so closely connected to source that they remember. So if a kid is telling you something is real, or like if a little girl came up to me and told me that they were doing this on their back deck, I would 1000% validate them and be like, yeah, like that is real. Magic is real. God is real. Source, whatever you want to call it, is real. The power of the universe is real. But I never shared this with anyone when I was growing up because I didn't have that kind of support. Like, no one in my family knew about anything regarding any of the stuff I was into. Now they all understand me and they get it, you know. But when I was younger, I would not have shared this. But yeah, that's how you know it's real. That's how you know it's not evil, because kids are pure and innocent. Like, they don't have all of the, I don't know, muddying that happens as you age yet. So, like, the muddying of the mind. So, like, I was coming from a pure, intentioned, unknowing but knowing place. Like, I didn't know what I was doing, but I knew. And I know it wasn't evil because it was of the purest like love and light, and I felt so connected to these like tree spirits, and I could feel their love for me, and I could feel my love for them. And that was just me, I think, just connecting with Gaia and connecting with Mother Earth from a very young age. And that brings me a lot of peace and a lot of hope, because I know the younger generations, they will grow up, and I just know that there will be many who remember. And I know that with the big homeschooling wave movement, there's less kids going into public schooling systems and getting indoctrinated. And so I know there will be more and more kids remembering, because that's the medicine, is when we remember. And when we remember our truest essence and our truest form here on planet Earth, you know, the light within, obviously. Okay, now I'm gonna finish the rest of my makeup, do some eyeliner and some lashes, and then I'm gonna wrap this video up. My eyeliner, boom. I love doing these get readies with me too, because like I love having a reason to get ready. And also it's so fun because I do these while my son is napping, so it really gives me time to myself, and then I just feel so good after. I'm gonna go put on my lashes now. That I like to do and that I've always done is oh, good morning, son. Good morning. I like to pre-glue my eyelashes, and then I'll just set them down for a minute and let the glue kind of get tacky. Never just put the glue right on your strip lash and put it right on. It'll be sliding all over your eyes. So yeah, I put the glue on and let them just kind of sit on the table for a minute while the glue is kind of drying and getting tacky before I apply them. And I just want to say that that's something that I'm going to work very hard as a mother to do, is like to never have my son forget his magic and forget his inner knowing. That is something that is just a no for me. He's never going to forget his inner guidance and his inner knowing. He's going to stay connected to source, and I'm going to help him stay connected to source. Too many kids lose their imagination, lose their innocence too young. Not my kid, man. Also, I don't want my kid having to like later in life like re-find all this stuff like I did. Like, I had to like go through the process of like completely forgetting and then remembering again, and I don't want him to have to do that. I'm just going to expedite the process for him and just have him never forget from the beginning. So cute. Right now he just woke up from a nap and he's just chilling on the bed. Of course, I can't forget the white eyeliner. Oh my god, you guys. Especially when you're wearing big dramatic lashes. I feel like this helps like reopen the eyes so that your eyes don't like look too heavy from the big lashes. And I just do a little bit of mascara on the bottom lashes, and then that's a wrap for today. Alright guys, I really hope that you enjoyed today's video. I had a lot of fun making it, and I have noticed in my YouTube analytics, because I checked that stuff, I have noticed that I've been getting like 4,000 plus new viewers, but then like only 30 will subscribe. So please, if you guys enjoy this content, it's free to you. Just click that subscribe button, click the little bell notifications. I make videos every week, always once a week, but sometimes more if I'm feeling, I don't know, inspired, which happens a lot. I'm a newer YouTuber, and so my content's gonna be getting better and better every week. Like, as you guys notice, I actually have an intro video now. Revolutionary. Anyways, I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye. Ugh. What? Oh my gosh. No, it needs to be a fine mist. It doesn't come out like in enough of a fine of a mist. Enough of a fine of a mist. Enough of a fine of a mist. Yeah, don't get this one.